depending on what you're dealing with.
It seems like your two books that you've talked about so far are kind of like two different subjects that you have expertise in. You think there's a connection between the two things, the self-help and the paranormal?
Well, yeah, because as I said, with the paranormal encounters that people have, if you look at the theory, like I said about that I talked about in Thought and Belief, where basically you have subconscious beliefs, and those beliefs can cause negative things to happen. Getting back to what Dobie said about, like the 25-year-old cop that suddenly gets killed, I think that's a reflection of those negative subconscious beliefs. And I think that if you have negative subconscious beliefs, you can encounter some of the darker entities and things that are out there.
Now, you know that people are sick enough that they're the same ones that go and wait for a tsunami at the beach. They want to meet these dark entities. Would you recommend against that? I would just think as an outsider, it's one of the stupidest things you can do, but that doesn't stop the public a lot of times.
Well, I watch these paranormal shows on television, and don't get me wrong, I do like some of them. But when they go into a room and they start provoking the entity, they're not even sure what it is, but they're like swearing at it, or they're doing things and saying, I dare you to manifest right now, or I dare you to touch me or do something.
And those are the guys in the Travel Channel.
Yeah, those guys, and there's several others. I've seen it on several shows like that. And I'm thinking, what do these guys do in their off time? Do they get little sticks and sharpen them and go look for bears to poke with a stick? Because
no, they're bullies. Wouldn't be bears, because bears can fight
No,
back.
it'd be like kittens and puppies and they like
Frogs.
chase the geese out of the yard, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's just, but I wonder, because I know that some of these entities, they have to have some root in your belief system. Otherwise, they just go around and kill all of us. If you want to look at it that way. And obviously, we're not dropping dead, and you don't have police reports with bodies being exploded in rooms and things. Those kinds of things aren't happening. But the danger that people get into that they don't realize is that if you encounter one of these entities, and especially if you kind of tick it off, it can hang around you, and you have a tendency to become more and more negative, more and more afraid. You become depressed, and that can affect people because people in that type of condition are more apt to commit suicide, or to think about committing suicide, or to maybe do things like get overindulgent with alcohol and things of that nature. So I think that's the big danger, as far as going out and provoking an entity, because some of these things do have the potential to create some harm in your life, or harm in people around you.
Now, where do you think they come from? That's the $64,000 question. Is it heaven and hell? Is it angels and demons as we know it? Is it something else?
I have had encounters with angels, so I do believe in angels.
Do they have wings?
No, they don't.
I've heard that's a myth.
They have an aura that kind of goes up. The typical idea of the halo with the wings. Okay. Or if you just fade forward to the person that's standing in front of that, and imagine an aura that kind of goes up on each shoulder, that would be the wings that I've seen. And then the halo would be kind of a thing over the head. And I think it's just the fact that they're from another dimension that is probably too much for us to comprehend clearly. So they're coming from this other dimension, and it's all around us, but it's something that we necessarily our minds and our senses can't necessarily perceive, and I think that's where they come from in that sense. And I have had encounters with actual demonic presences, but most of the things that happen is just energy that's kind of left in the environment from something that happened, usually some strong emotion or something of that nature. And then you have some of that actually kind of elevates and becomes self-aware, and that's what creates a psychic entity. And that's what I've mostly found in my practice, are mostly psychic entities and demonic presences that are causing problems. Of course, you have to deal with those differently.
Do you believe in the devil?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You're talking about Satan himself, right?
Satan, Mr. Cloven-foot, pitchfork, scaly tail with an arrow on the end of it.
Never met him, but I do believe that he sent me a message at one point.
Really?
Yeah.
He sent you a message. While you were out, Satan called to Jami and his 3 cats from...
It wasn't voicemail, no.
No, I'm talking those little pink slips.
A little post-it note from
Satan. Post-it note from the big guy.
A little hang in there kitten, hang illustration of a hang in there kitten.
Hang in there.
The nest of Satan.
Yeah, oh boy, I tell you, being on the radio, I better be right about some of this stuff, otherwise I'm probably schizophrenic, you know.
Well, that's okay. We're not eating a squirrel turd. We always like to say that here anyway.
Or at least schizotypal personality disorder.
Jamie Snell is our guest. You want to talk to him, ask him anything about his books. Paranormal Encounters is available to you at a discount price. WLIP listeners, go to his website, www.thoughtsandbelief.com. He's here for you. 262-694-1050 is the number. We're going to take a quick break right now.
Yes.
We'll be back with Jami. Get
Jamie,
yourself
hold
a
on.
drink. Thank you, Jami, for here for a few more minutes. We are the Mothership Connection. AM 10 is WLIP.
Happenings Q&A with Frank Carmichael, Monday at 1. Celebrity chef Tony Mantuano joins us to talk about one of his latest endeavors. Author Kay Heimowitz attempts to answer the question, where have all the good men gone, in her latest book, Manning Up. Happenings Q&A on AM 1050 WLIP. Brought to you by Roger Paulman Chevrolet. For a better deal, get to the Grove. You're listening to the Mothership Connection. On AM 1050 WLIP, your cosmic link to the other side.
Can you let a person go to the bathroom?
No.
The shortest break in radio recorded history.
Yeah, it was just to hear from Lou.
About ready to get that sports section out and see the box scores. You're listening to the Mothership. You got to do that 50-yard dash.
Stop.
I'm glad our guest is interesting and everything, but boy, you got to take a break once in a while. We're the Mothership Connection on your Sunday night. We'll keep you updated on any severe weather that may take place the rest of the evening. We've already had one interruption. Hopefully we won't have any more. It'll be all lollipops and Archie comics. Hershey bars and good times.
As Flo says, unicorns and glitter.
That's good, yeah.
I love that.
That's a good one, too. My name is Dobie Maxwell, the king of Uranus. I'm driving the Mothership this evening. Shelley Moss Hernandez is here on the phones and on the computer. Greg DeGuire will be talking about his conspiracy theories up the proverbial yin-yang. Lots of them to talk about tonight. Gary Panch is here as well with his Mothership Connection, Mothership Hall of Fame inductee. Now, Gary, you have work commitments coming up in the next few weeks. When is your last show?
It'll be next week before I take my little hiatus.
And the big show will be the Kennedy.
It's our Kennedy show next week. We have a special guest coming in, and
And Jana will be here.
yeah, John will be here. She be pretty knowledgeable on the subject also.